What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the Basketball Acrobat here. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about my top reasons why basketball players get injured. But before we actually get into that part of the video, I just ask that you guys please like, share, and subscribe to the video because this is going to be a very important one for you basketball players out there. Let's go ahead and get started. So number 9. Keep in mind, these aren't in any particular order, but in my mind, mentally, I have them in a certain order. But number 9, you're not warming up and you're not stretching. Now, me personally, I was one of those athletes that never warmed up and I never stretched. And guess what? I was always injured. And that's why I really didn't go past a certain level with basketball because I was always injured, right? Now in my life, playing basketball, I can't even tell you the last time I got injured because, you know, I've changed the way I eat, I've changed the way I live, and I actually warm up and stretch before I play, right? So the importance of warming up and stretching is, I mean, it's at the top of the list. I also have a video on this channel here where you can go through an entire flow with me to improve your flexibility, which will help you increase your overall athletic performance as well as help eliminate those injuries later down the road, right? So you got to be proactive. You have to do preventative things in order to not get injured, all right? So number 9, make sure you warm up and stretch. It's very, very important and don't skip it. All right, so number 8, you know, your nutrition, guys. So you got to get in the habit of taking care of yourself. Now, I know a lot of you guys, like myself, you probably came up eating McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, and all the crappy food, right? Now, at the end of the day, these foods are not designed for humans to eat, right? If you look at all of the preservatives, you got acrylic, you got all types of things in these foods, and nobody even knows what the foods actually are, where they come from, how they put this stuff together. So you want to go to a more natural way of eating. So how do you think LeBron James and Tom Brady have been able to last so long? They have the proper nutrition to keep their bodies going for an extended period of time. So make sure you guys are eating healthy. So get rid of the Cheetos, the Flamin' Hots, the Ho-Hos, McDonald's, all that bull crap. I mean, it's going to hinder you in the long run. So this is part of the reason why a lot of these basketball players are getting injured and they don't know. So, you know, just like a car, if I'm driving a car and I'm throwing Kool-Aid in the tank, do you think the car is going to keep going or you think it's going to stop? All right. So for those of you guys that don't know about sugar going in the tank, go ahead and look up what sugar does to a tank. So that's the same thing with you fueling your body. If you're fueling your body with crap, over time, you're going to slow down, you're going to get injuries, more things are going to break down just like on a car if you put Kool-Aid in the tank, right? All right, so that's number 8. Number 7 is your lack of sleep. So a lot of you guys want to go out on the weekends, you want to party it up, which is fine, but you got basketball practice at 5 in the morning. So you come in the house 1, 2 in the morning, dicking around with these girls out here, and you have something important to do. Now, there's a time to play around with girls, but if you're serious about your basketball and you want to go to the next level and you have things to do, you can still, you know, spend some time with them, but you have to cut it short. So maybe you get with them at 6 o'clock and then at 9 o'clock, you know, you guys go your own way and it's time for you to wrap it up, get in the bed, get yourself some proper rest, so that you're ready to go the next morning, so that your brain's fresh and ready to go, and most importantly, so you don't get injured. Now, what tends to happen with you guys getting that lack of sleep is your body's going to break down, right? So you have to rest your body in order for it to keep going, and if you don't rest it, eventually it's going to break down. I don't care what your age is. You can be 13 years old. You can be the youngest person out there. You still have to get rest, all right? Number 6, this is for you guys that are really deep into it. So maybe you're in college or you're a professional athlete, high school too, middle school too, but traveling. So you guys that are traveling, obviously you're going to travel when you're playing games, but I want to bring this to your attention. Whether you're traveling by bus, whether you're traveling by plane, no matter how you're traveling, you want to make sure that you're able to stretch your legs out, right? So if you take the seat next to the aisle, you'll be able to stretch your legs out more if you're in a position where you guys don't have your own section that you can kind of stretch out on, right? So it's very important that you're able to kind of stretch yourself out, because if you're enclosed and you're all bunched up, by the time you get off that bus, you're gonna have some problems. You're gonna be tight in your hamstrings. You know, your back is gonna be kind of tight. You know, depending on your body and your makeup. You know, so again, you have to put yourself in a situation where you're traveling where you're not so bunched up. So you want to make sure you're nice and stretched out. And that's one of the leading reasons why a lot of these players are injured as well, because when you're in a small space, you're bunched up, your muscles get tight, your ligaments get tight, everything is tight. All right. Now, also, I want to add to that, which should go with this one or number 8, which was nutrition. You want to make sure you're staying hydrated. All right. So when you're on those buses or planes traveling, you want to make sure you're staying hydrated. And the best way to do that is with coconut water. Coconut water is at the top of the list when we talk about hydrating the body. Do your research on that. So I want you guys to become more proactive in learning. All right. So number 5, dirty players. Now, this is just something that we can't do anything about, right? So a lot of you guys are getting injured because you're playing with dirty players. So if you think about Zaza Pachulia, what he did to Kawhi Leonard the last playoffs, right? Or you think about what Jalen Rose did to Kobe Bryant, right? So these are those people that's, when you're doing good, you're at the top of your game, you know, you're in the zone, you go up for those jump shots, they want to slide those legs out and have you come down, you know, on your ankle wrong, you know. So you got to watch out, you got to be careful, you have to be on your P's and Q's, and you have to be safe out there. So you can't trust those people out on the floor. It's up to you to kind of do what you can to help prevent yourself from getting mixed up in those crossfires, all right? Now, number 4, this is one of the main reasons why a lot of basketball players get injured, is because they're horse playing, right? So it doesn't matter what sport it is. If you're out here dicking around on a court, you're playing grab ass and you're doing all this stuff, you can seriously get hurt. So, it's good to have fun while playing ball, but you have to be very careful when you're playing too much, you're going too far. That can lead you to an injury, right? So you just kind of be mindful and watch out for that. Number 3, your style of play. So we think about Derrick Rose, right? He plays very hard. He's a very high impact player. So everything he does, he's coming down hard. He's cutting hard. Everything he does is hard, right? So over time, our bodies aren't designed for that high impact like that. We're not designed for that. So if you're playing at a very high impact level, over time, your body's going to crash and it's going to break down and you're going to get injured. All right, so try to be a little bit lighter on your feet. You still want to be quick, but you don't want to be so high impact, So if you're going up for a dunk, you don't want to come down with high impact. You want to be nice and smooth. You want to smooth it on out. Coast and pace yourself. All right, so number 2 is, a lot of you are probably not going to hear this, but shoes. All right, so when we think about the shoes, the problem that's going on now is a lot of consumers prefer the style, the swag over safety, over they prefer it over the actual support that shoes are supposed to give you, right? So as long as the demand of swag and style is higher than safety and support, there's going to be a high number of injuries out there. So if you look at LeBron James, he's been coming down on the ankle a lot. You look at Steph Curry, he's coming down on those ankles a lot. And at the end of the day, if you're a person that has a history of having ankle injuries, you want to make sure you're taping those ankles up. You know, now I know there's going to be a little taken away from you going side to side or maybe some lateral movement, but your safety is more important than, you know, this whole swag thing. So don't be afraid to get your ankles taped up. You'll be fine. All right, so number one, it may or may not come as a surprise, but it's drugs and alcohol. So many athletes out there are into the drugs and alcohol. I'm not talking about weed. I'm talking about ecstasy pills, right? I'm talking about mollies. I'm talking about all these things that are destroying you guys internally, right? So drugs have a high impact on your organs, right? So a lot of them have a chemical reaction inside your body, which breaks it down, which ultimately gives you guys injuries, right? So it's tearing your knees up. You know, it's gonna increase your chances of you dislocating something such as your fingers. It's going to, you know, you may rupture an Achilles tendon, right? Because our bodies, again, aren't designed to be taking these hardcore drugs that, I mean, it's just not designed for us to do, all right? Now, what I want to do is recommend you guys is get into yoga. You know, so I've been into yoga for the past several years, so I've been teaching classes for the past several years. I've taught classes overseas in the majority of the big cities in America. And for me personally, ever since I practiced yoga and have kept a pretty consistent practice, I've noticed my injuries have gone down drastically, and I still play ball, right? So I haven't seen any injuries, like for me, even something like a jammed finger or a dislocated finger. The reason why I don't is because when you're in the certain poses of yoga, whether we're talking about going into the crow, I know you guys don't know this terminology, or handstands, right? So by me doing handstands, my strength and my hands are building up, right? So now it's able to take that high impact of a hard pass, right? I can catch it. Or if I'm swiping down at a ball or swiping up, however you guys are taught, I'm limiting my injuries from doing handstands and all the other hand balances, right? Even down to you guys that have leg injuries, right? Your knees, right? Your knees, your ankles. Maybe you rupture Achilles tendon like I did, which is how I actually got into yoga. I use it as a form of rehab. All right. So again, the more your body is open as far as in your muscles, the more you increase your potential for your athletic ability, as well as you're going to reduce your chance for injury. All right, so that's something that I recommend. I'm going to have a link in the description below for some of you guys that want to help increase your flexibility. It's very important, man. It's very, very important. All right, so that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you're taking this and you're running with it. I know a lot of you younger guys are just like, yeah, whatever, who cares? But you'll end up coming back to this video, listening to what I'm saying, trying to understand what happened. All right, now that's all I got for you guys today, and I'm out.